Vice President of Baseball Operations, General Manager Mike Rizzo with us today. I offered to give Mike my coat. Mike said, I'm from Chicago. This weather is nothing. We're used to this. Yeah. Great to see you, Mike.
Well, my pleasure. Great to be back for another season with you guys. We feel good about where we're at, and we're excited about to start the season right now.
You know, when you look at this roster, 22 of 25 guys, you had a hand in making sure they're with the organization.
Yeah, it's quite a turnaround, and we feel good about the guys we've brought in. We have a good comfort level with where they're at on the roster, and we feel it's a good fluid roster with athletes and some speed and able to score runs in maybe different ways than we did in the past. And we're sure going to be better defensively and more aggressive on the base paths.
Well, I like the fact that you're using the word "the foundation," Mike, because just like in college football, a coach gets fired and all of a sudden the next coach goes in there and plays with that coach's players, and you're starting to put a stamp on this ball club. What a great job. I'd like to compliment you on the acquisition of Worth, not only Worth, but LaRoche, and all these complementary players that make so much difference in that clubhouse. Quality people with the right attitude. Great job, and just your opinion on how much better this ball club is starting this season as opposed to last year?
Well, starting the season, we go into 2011 with a healthy pitching staff. Remember last year where Jordan Zimmerman wasn't available, rehabbing from Tommy John surgery. Jason Marquis, as we learned about 4 starts into the season, wasn't healthy. To start the season. Russ Detweiler was coming off a hip surgery. We didn't have Gorzalani. Landon was having mechanical problems, so we feel good about the rotation. We feel that we're going to get the Jason Marquis that we thought we signed 2 years ago. The guy that averaged 6 years in a row, 13 wins and 200 innings. Levon Hernandez is going to be Levon. He's never going to change. We feel that we've got Jordan Zimmerman's stuff is back. He performed very well in spring training. He looks healthy and happy and ready to go. We think we got the John Lannon post the minor league assignment, and Tom Gorzalani is going to be a big piece for us in the bottom of that rotation.
Mike, another guy you added to this ball club, experience, a clubhouse guy, Jerry Hairston Jr.
Jerry has been a favorite of mine for years. He's a Chicago boy also. I've seen him grow up in baseball. He's a third-generation big league player, and he brings us so much versatility, energy, and experience to the ball club, not only on the field but in the clubhouse. He's a guy that you could plug in just about any spot on the field, and a guy that gives you a little thump from the right side, speed, athleticism, a guy who can play center field when we need to, and just an all-around good athlete and good player.
You added LaRoche to play first base. Espinosa played a great second base last year. Desmond got better and better, and Zimmerman. How good can this interior defense be?
Well, we think we're going to be good. We think it's a rangy, athletic group of players. Our middle lineup we'll put their throwing arms and their range against anybody in baseball. Now they're young and they're going to make mistakes of youth, but we feel that they're going to be high energy, athletic, and show great range. And these two guys have good baseball IQs too. LaRoche is going to help all 3 of those infielders by his not only his range at first base, but the ability to pick throws out of the dirt. And Zimmerman, we're going to give him another Silver Slugger later on today, and we expect him to just continue his all-star-like performances.
Mike, we saw last year, Mike Morse at left field, wherever he played last year, he seemed to get clutch base hits, hit the long ball, ended up with 15 home runs, hits 9 in spring training. He won that job.
He really did. We poised it to the players in the beginning of spring training. This is going to be a competition. There's very few positions that we're walking into spring training safe and sound. There was a competition that Mike Morris had in left field. He grabbed the job and ran with it and never looked back. He was a guy that we acquired last year in a trade for Ryan Langerhans. He was an athletic player in the Seattle organization that was playing shortstop when we scouted him. We felt that he was a big physical player that could be a corner player for us. He was a guy, Ray, as you know, a longer leveler guy that sometimes have trouble adjusting to pitchers. He and Rick Eckstein did a lot of work in the batting cages this year, and X got him in a place where he feels very comfortable against all type of pitchers and hitting pitches in all parts of the strike zone. We feel that he's going to be a good middle of the lineup hitter for us that can hit for some power and drive in some runs.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be exposed inside, and he just started laying off that pitch and getting the ball out away from him. Showed a great bit of patience. One question I have to ask you, we talked about this young man a lot last year, Nyjer Morgan. No question about his ability to play the game, no better run, hit a little bit still, an igniter. But he just never fit in, never kind of got it going, did he?
Well, you know, he came to us after the trade and was electric for about 2 months till he broke his thumb. He came into 2010 spring training, couldn't really prepare for the season because he was rehabbing the thumb and never really got on track. You know, we liked his defensive range in the outfield. And again, he came into spring training this year competing against Roger Bernardina and Rick Ankiel for the center field job. I felt in my mind that Ankiel gives us much more versatility and much more impact, both offensively and defensively. The ranges are about the same, but Ankiel separates himself defensively because he's got one of the best throwing arms in all of baseball. Yeah. And he really shuts down a running game. I've spoken to several third base coaches in spring training, and they really have to prepare and plan for his throwing arm in the outfield. He's a guy who can do a lot of damage with one swing of the bat. I like the fact that the marriage of Rick Ankiel and Rick Eckstein, back to their Cardinal days when Ank had that big year in the big leagues for the Cardinals. Eckstein's got him in the right position to perform well this year. I love his energy and in his makeup in the clubhouse. He's a great story and a great guy to have around.
Mike, the buzz in Washington is unbelievable for the start of this season with all the additions that you made to the ball club and talking in the clubhouse guys down at spring training, and one in particular, Ian Desmond, says, I don't know about you, but I can feel the difference. He could feel the difference with the members of this ball club you've got together this year.
Well, you know, it was a conscious effort to bring in some good veteran presences around the good young players. It was no accident that Matt Stairs, Alex Cora, Jerry Hairston, and Lance Nix are members of this ball club. Two of them being non-roster invitees that we had a good feel that they would make the club all along. You know. Alex Cora is going to be a great mentor for Espinoza and Desmond. You know, we're lockering them right next to each other. They've been on the backfields in the wee hours of mornings on many occasions in spring training. He's going to teach those guys how to be middle infielders on championship organizations and ball clubs, and we couldn't be happier with the mixture of good veteran players and clubhouse presences and a good young core of good young players.
Mike, always great to have you with us.
It's my pleasure.
Always welcome anytime.
Thank you very much.
You bet.